What if the secret to modern leadership lies not in charisma or compassion, but in cunning strategy? What if being Machiavellian wasn't a dirty word, but a survival skill in today's volatile world? There's a dichotomy at the heart of leadership, between power and principle, between results and integrity. And today, we're diving deep into that tension, exploring what it means to be a 21st century Machiavellian. Hello, and welcome to The Unfolding Journey, your channel dedicated to exploring modern ideas, leadership, history, and the stories that shape our world. I'm Your Name, and every week we unpack a compelling concept, drawing lessons that apply not just in theory, but in our daily lives. If you're passionate about growing as a thinker, leader, or storyteller, you're in the right place. The term Machiavellian comes from Niccolò Machiavelli, a 16th century Florentine diplomat and philosopher. His most famous work, The Prince, outlined ruthless strategies that leaders could use to win and retain power. He wrote things like, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." That one phrase alone has kept Machiavelli's name in history, often paired with cunning, manipulation, and amoral tactics. Cut to modern-day footage of boardrooms and leadership conferences. Today, we live in a vastly different world, one shaped by globalization, instant communication, social media, and relentless competition. But Machiavelli's core insight, the importance of strategy and perception, remains surprisingly relevant. The question is, how can we harness strategic thinking while staying ethical in today's world? ETs break it down. Who is the 21st century Machiavellian? They're leaders who think strategically. They see the chessboard of opportunities, rivals, and risks. Master perception. They know how to shape how others see them, without losing authenticity. Exercise power intelligently. They're not cruel for cruelty's sake, but they refuse to be naive. Operate ethically. They set boundaries so strategy doesn't turn into manipulation or deceit. That blend, strategic clarity plus ethical guardrails, is what sets them apart. The result? Leaders who get things done and guide by values. People respect them, not just fear them. Think of Machiavellian leadership as a spectrum. On one end, pure cynicism, where ends always justify means. On the other end, naive altruism, where high intent isn't enough without skill. The 21st century Machiavellian occupies the sweet spot in the middle. Strategically minded but boundaries driven. They ask, is this aligned with my values? Will this decision stand up to scrutiny? Not every strategy is good strategy. That position allows them to navigate complexity, build trust, and get real results, without losing their moral compass. Let's bring it to life. Consider Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. When he took over in 2014, Microsoft was stalling. He strategically pivoted the company toward cloud services, open source partnerships, and inclusivity, without compromising ethical responsibility. Nadella saw the big picture, shaped perception, and executed ethically. Another example, Malala Yousafzai. Though not a corporate leader, she strategically navigated global media, advocacy, and diplomacy. She shaped her narrative, stayed firm on principles, and wielded influence without compromising her moral center. But strategic thinking isn't magic, it carries risk. The moment you use guile, you're one misstep away from being manipulative. That's why ethical guidelines are essential. Ask yourself, am I transparent where I can be? Am I respecting the autonomy of others? Does this action reflect my deeper values? Without those guardrails, strategy can become amoral, dangerous, even destructive. So how can you become a principled strategist in real life? Here are 5 practical steps. Clarify your North Star. Write down your core values, what you won't compromise. Map the landscape. Know who the players are and how they behave. Plan multiple moves. Don't rely on a single tactic. Have contingency plans. Shape your perception. How do others see you? Are you consistent in your message? Review and adjust. After each decision, assess results, ethically and strategically. This isn't about betrayal, it's about purposeful clarity. And yes, it takes practice. When strategy meets ethics, it fails when ego creeps in. Here are 3 common pitfalls. The power trip. When influence becomes identity, watch for arrogance. Tunnel vision. When logic overrides empathy, balance with human listening. Short-termism. When quick wins overshadow long-term values. Each pitfall is avoidable with one antidote: intentional pause. Ask yourself, what's the ethical impact? Pause prevents regret. In a globalized digital world, your audience isn't just local. It's anyone with internet access. One tweet can change a reputation. This 21st century Machiavellian understands cultural nuance. What's clever in one region might be offensive in another. Media literacy, how narratives form, and how to craft responsible ones. Accountability. Transparency is no longer optional, it's expected. Here's a challenge for you, the viewer. Think of a tough decision you're facing, in work, family, or community. Ask yourself, what's your objective and why? What strategies are you considering? What ethical lines must not be crossed? What's your backup plan if things go sideways? Answering those 4 questions gives you a Machiavellian-inspired playbook, with values intact. So, is being Machiavellian some nefarious plot? Not in its true essence. It's about blending intellect with integrity. It's about being purposeful without being ruthless. It's about leading, smarter, stronger, saner. The 21st century Machiavellian is someone who sees beyond immediate outcomes, who uses strategy as a tool for good, and who carries influence with responsibility. If you found this exploration insightful, there's more where that came from. Hit subscribe, ring the notification bell, and become part of the unfolding journey, where strategy meets meaning. Drop a comment. Have you ever faced a situation where strategic thinking bumped up against your ethics? How did you handle it? Let's keep the conversation going.